The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
A veteran customs officer at the center of a major corruption investigation. Also tonight, West End MP-elect Kingsley Smith clarifying his name as a social media firestorm swirls. The Christian Council calling for more information on the appointments of Sebas Bastian and Leslie Miller to the new cabinet. And later tonight, Wendy's and Coca-Cola here to make one lucky viewer, or perhaps a few, quite happy months ahead of the Essence Fest this summer. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, tonight, a senior Bahamas customs official is now at the center of a major corruption case after being hauled before the courts in Grand Bahama on more than 70 charges, criminal charges. 60-year-old Chief Customs Officer Pamela Williams appeared before magistrate on Wednesday following an undercover investigation by the Revenue Enhancement Unit. Williams is facing 19 counts each of bribery, extortion, money laundering, and fraud by false pretenses, along with one count of fraudulent breach of trust. She was not required to enter a plea, as the matter is expected to proceed by way of voluntary bill of indictment. Bail was denied in the magistrate's court. The case is now set to return to court September 21st. As we continue to follow the story, of course, we will start right there this evening. So much has been said recently about fraud, about senior government officials or government officials on any level, really, in the civil service, involved in fraudulent activity. This time, this customs officer, a veteran senior customs officer, in the middle of such a case, an investigation that apparently was going on for quite some time, and now sitting in prison, waiting for her case, or to return to court rather, in September, months from now. So that is that shows right there that a no-nonsense approach right out the gate. I'd like to bring in my panelists now so that we can discuss this and really sort of give some sort of perspective to it after discussing fraud and corruption and whatnot, I mean, for months, quite frankly. And here is this female finds herself at the center of this case. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Michael Turnquest, Peggy Candace, and Howard Johnson. Good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Good evening, Bahamas. Good evening, Shanique. Pleasure to be back.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Peggy and Michael, and good evening, Bahamas.
Good evening, Howard.
Hey, hello, Howard.
Good evening to each of you. Let's talk about exactly what I just read. Shocking. But we know, and we've been saying it for quite some time, it is those who are entrusted with performing certain duties and carrying out those duties who are oftentimes the ones with dirty hands. Let's just talk about the I think 70-odd charges, criminal charges, as they are termed, that this former customs officer now faces.
You know, you ask yourself, how can one be set up so many times and keep falling for the same thing over and over? But, you know, I think this is nothing new. You know, when we look at, you know, we've always said in this particular area, you know, you follow the money. You know, we've always heard, you know, I would say decades ago about customs officers, you know, living beyond their means as relates to, you know, big this, big that, big homes, you know, so this is nothing new to the Bahamas. It's good that, you know, we're finally starting to get down, you know, to the bottom of it, but I can guarantee you this is only a tip of the iceberg in terms of what else, you know, needs to be looked into, you know, straight across, you know, just not only in customs, you know, straight across the board. You know, we continue to talk about immigration, we talk about the passport office, we talk about NIB, we talk about all these different agencies that needs to be, you know, really do a thorough investigation and find out, you know, what, and you all in banking, we say if you follow the money and you'll figure out, you know, who is doing what.
Good evening, Bahamas. Thank you once again, Shanique, for having me. You know, strangely enough, from the by-election November 2025 until the last election campaign over the past several months, corruption was a key point of the opposition argument to be elected by Bahamian people. However, they never say, well, Bahamians, you need to do better. People who are employed by the government needs to do better in being honest and transparent. They always try to lay it at the feet of the then and now current administration. And I remember the head of the passport office coming to the show and saying the system is working simply because we identify the fraudulent documents attached to these applications and we forward them to the relevant agencies for investigation. But the opposition never supported that. It was always a corrupt government. And the Bahamian public need to be held accountable, responsible. Those who are paid to carry out a service need to be held accountable. And so I'm glad to see that this person is before the courts. This person will sit inside. I hope they bring him Foxhell for a hot summer. It is serious.
There's no summer to be in Fox.
Listen, this is it is no summer for this 60-year-old woman, is she, to be behind bars and waiting there until September. Howard, your thoughts?
Yeah, Shanique, unfortunately, this is an unsavory underbelly and black market that exists in the Bahamas, but also globally. And especially in government offices and in public sector roles, right, and jobs. So you have people, and this is by no means an excuse, I'm just laying it out. You have persons who are not making very much money by the way of salary in comparison to their corporate counterparts. And they are in sensitive jobs and jobs where the temptation is sometimes great because they can do things with the government's resources and the government's time that can allow themselves to make extra money in a corrupt and fraudulent manner. And so there lies the big issue, right? And we know it goes on in the Bahamas, and like Peggy said, it has been going on for a long time. This crackdown needs to be widespread and pervasive. I am happy that this person was arrested and is spending that time in Fox Hill until trial, and I hope that the sentence is very stringent on this individual, so much so that it tells others who are engaged at this time or thinking about becoming engaged in such activities, it would be a deterrent for them, because this is a drop in the bucket for real. There are people out there who are doing these things consistently throughout the government service, and they need to be brought to justice if the investigations and the evidence shows that they are doing things untoward and in breach of their public duties.
We can't send investigate or send them set to jail who, you know, you got to tip them for everything. You know, you pay them $20 to move the document from here
Michael,
to here.
Michael,
we need to send some of them to jail too,
is the Bahamian way.
I can't give everybody $20
if you want something done in some public government agency, you gotta buy them lunch. You gotta buy them lunch. You gotta do something.
We have created that culture.
We've done it.
We have created that culture, and the only way it can stop if we stop. You understand? We want a little favor. We want to skip the line. We want to drop the line.
How you could stop? Then they wouldn't. If you don't get them that $20, that document can sit on that desk.
That's not true.
Timbuktu.
Because I don't.
You might call somebody. You might know somebody else.
Peggy, you may not practice it, but believe me, it's a real thing. There are many government agencies, and they will keep you coming back every other day because Miss So and So isn't here. But you slip them a slow 100.
I don't have a slow 100 to slip nobody. And Bahamians have to discontinue. See, we create a culture of corruption.
We have done that,
and then we want to scream, oh, they corrupt. No, you corrupt. If you participate, if you have a slow 50, a slow 100 to slip somebody, slip it to me for my gas bill, please. But you don't have to participate. You demand that service. And I have seen many persons, because I did it personally, where I went to social media and I call your doggone name. And guess what? Everybody starts skipping and jumping because I call your name. I say, get it done. You've been hired to do this job. Even if you've been hired because of political favors, do your doggone job. And it's time for Bahamians to stop being corrupt. And that is those who participated and those who slipped in.
Listen to me, start on every level, because there are many levels. When we talk about those fraudulent documents, for example, they have to be signed by someone. They have to be approved by someone. They have to be made up and pushed through by someone. And it starts at the very basic of people who go and put a stamp on them to try and legitimize them. But you all, we have a lot to get to tonight. Get this, you all. That's fine. That's okay. I love the passion that we do. But listen, well, I'll tell you, it's that lady, that instance with the customs officer sends a very strong message, and I think a firm one, that if you are involved, then watch out. Meanwhile, you all, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is now raising concerns after revealing that Bahamian consular officials have not yet been granted access to Jonathan Eric Gardner, the plane crash survivor who was later taken into United States custody in connection with an alleged drug trafficking investigation. The statement comes as the government continues to respond to growing questions surrounding Gardner's arrest, which followed the Election Day plane crash as he and other Bahamian passengers were traveling to Grand Bahama. Officials say the government is cooperating fully with U.S. authorities through diplomatic, consular, legal, and treaty channels. Meanwhile, U.S. court documents and international reports contain allegations that Gardner was found in possession of $30,000 in cash, 3 cell phones, and other items after being recovered from the water following the crash. Those same documents also contain claims of alleged contact between a Bahamian parliamentarian and individuals believed to be connected to an investigation. Those claims remain allegations, and no charges have been announced against any Bahamian politician. The Office of the Prime Minister has also acknowledged the development, stating that wherever wrongdoing is established, any person involved will be held accountable without fear or favor, and the chips will fall where they may. Now, the allegations have sparked widespread public discussion and calls for answers. While some government officials declined interview requests, others responded through written statements, though many of the specific claims outlined in U.S. documents have yet to be directly addressed. Meantime, West Grand Bahama Member of Parliament Kingsley Smith is breaking his silence on reports he says that have been circulating in the public domain as they reference to him and his involvement. In a statement issued this afternoon, Smith said he is aware of the discussions surrounding the matter, but strongly rejected the claims describing reports relating to him as, quote, salacious, defamatory, and entirely ill-conceived. Smith did not elaborate on the specific reports he was referencing, but his comments come amid growing public attention surrounding the developing matter. Well, F&M Deputy Leader Shannon Cartwright is now calling for a commission of inquiry into the identity of Politician 1, the unidentified individual referenced in U.S. court documents connected to an ongoing DEA investigation involving alleged meeting at Parliament. Cartwright describing the allegations as deeply concerning and calling the matter a disgrace, while expressing hope that those responsible, if any wrongdoing is established, will be held accountable. The call came in a video recorded outside Parliament, which has since been circulating widely across social media as Cartwright questioned what he described as the government's silence on the matter.
Someone who was in this house, bringing disrepute not only to this institution, but to the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Someone who was working to disturb the sanctity of this institution. The government must stand up and let the Bahamian people know who is this politician who was in this house. Is it someone who, in fact, will be sworn in tomorrow to come back in this house? So the question is today, why is the government so silent on this issue that has brought reputational damage not only to this institution, but to the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas? There's a collective cry throughout this country that the people of this country are demanding answers. How could it be in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas that someone who is sworn to protect the Constitution of this country and who should be a lawmaker, not a lawbreaker?
That is F&M Deputy Shannon Cartwright in a recorded video message outside Parliament today, urging that the government says more. Of course, we know that the Davis administration has responded through a statement that I read a few moments ago. But panel, I wanna give you all an opportunity to sort of respond, and I don't want us to bring anything that's floating out there and people and what they're saying and insinuating. No. Let's be responsible and just speak to what is being reported officially. But here's Cartwright saying, "Listen, Commission of Inquiry. Let's get to the bottom of this." Your thoughts, panel?
Cartwright need to just calm down, sir, calm down. There's a reason you're standing outside Parliament. Yeah, that. You're insinuating, you're suggesting all kinds, shameful, but we don't know the name. The government claim they don't know the name, and they're seeking to find out who the individual is. So how you get out there saying all you're saying, I understand your frustration, sir. You should be frustrated. What happened to you over the last week? I mean, standing outside the Senate, standing outside the House of Assembly, but I beg of you, sir, be responsible as you stand outside.
So is Michael and Howard, Peggy said, be responsible. Let the law take its course. Let this investigation play itself out so that if the finger does point to an individual, then that'll be revealed.
You know, Shanique, I think the reality of it is, and you know, they say the truth shall set you free. I think the reality is the U.S. is still, I'm pretty sure, doing their investigation, interrogation, whatever it may do. You know, at the end of the day, I think the chips, let them fall where they may. At the end of the day, when the information becomes, I don't know if it's going to become public first, but when the government is given the correct information in terms of names. But at the end of the day, I think this particular situation, we as Bahamians need to pay attention, because at the end of the day, we should not allow any individual or individuals to bring any type of shame of this sort to our Parliament or the walls of Parliament, because at the end of the day, it's a disgrace on all of us. It's a shame. Yeah. And you know, we have to demand. I mean, at the end of the day, as soon as the Prime Minister knows exactly who these or the person or persons are, they need to be dealt with accordingly and upwards and swiftly.
Yeah, Shanique, I agree. The only thing I agree with Mr. Cartwright on is that this is a disgrace, and it doesn't matter who's in power. It's a disgrace because an elected official from the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, according to this affidavit or this information, was inside the sanctity of the Parliament discussing drug smuggling, right?
Allegedly.
And drug smuggling matters. That is a disgrace to the Bahamas. Now, beyond that, with Mr. Cartwright calling for a commission of inquiry and saying the government should reveal the name. Well, from what I understand from news reports, this plane crash took place in waters off of the United States. And this man was taken into custody by U.S. authorities. And what is going on now is being controlled by U.S. authorities. So the name of the person that was taken off of this individual is all in the control of U.S. authorities. The Bahamas government is trying to find out information and gather information. So it's not the government of the Bahamas' job at this point to reveal any information, because they are in the information gathering stage. So I believe, unfortunately, Mr. Cartwright is just politically posturing at this time, and things have to take their natural course.
But I think the U.S. The U.S. knows the information. I mean, what they've been doing wiretaps in 2023 or 2024. So, I'm pretty sure they know exactly what they're looking for.
But they ain't say it.
But they just haven't said it.
We all await. We await exactly to see.
We
await to see what the investigation. We await to see what the investigation reveals. I have to go.
Mr. Davis need to do this.
I have to go, Howard. I have to go because we have more to get to. Believe me, so much more to get to. Because when we come back, the Christian Council say, listen, explain more on Sabas, explain more on Leslia. That's what they're saying today. Beyond the Headlines is back right after this.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokes model, and I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Uh-oh. Luckily, it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was right over here where these large capacity washer and dryers is. They're big enough now to handle your big loads, you know. Yeah, like your comfort on your blanket. But just look at us. Somebody forget to turn on the dryer. Oh, stop! Help! You hear something? Yeah, that's the sound of clean. Superwash washes you, presses you, and entertains you 24/7.
A lot of people know CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store thanks to our beautiful retail stores. But what you may not know is contractors love shopping here as well. Whether you need a flat rack of shingles, a truckload of drywall, or a pallet of joint compound, we can make it happen with unbeatable pricing, fast turnaround times, and excellent communication. That's why contractors love shopping with CBS Bahamas. Learn more at cbsbahamas.com.
Very dry, tight, sensitive skin? Relieve it in 60 seconds with Aveeno Skin Relief. With soothing triple oat complex, clinically proven to heal and strengthen dry skin. Aveeno, your skin stronger.
Don't let diarrhea steal your sunshine. Imodium Multi-Symptom Relief gets to work fast in just 1 hour, offering our most complete relief from diarrhea, bloating, gas, and cramps. So you can get diarrhea off your mind. Imodium. Calm the chaos of diarrhea.
Only at Popeyes can you get the amazing deal of 5 pieces of chicken for $10 at all Popeyes locations. Visit us every day, any day, and get your 5 for $10 only at Popeyes.
Y'all again?
Monday, Popeyes. Tuesday, Popeyes. Wednesday, Popeyes. Thursday, Popeyes. Friday, Popeyes. Saturday, Popeyes.
Girl, what we getting for lunch today? Popeyes again?
Popeyes. Every single day, give me Popeyes.
Five cars, catch the keys, don't blink, take these.
Island Luck is giving away 5 brand new cars. Earn 10 reward points for a chance to enter and win. Enter weekly from Monday 12 a.m. to Sunday 2 p.m. Winners are announced Sundays at 3 p.m. on 103.5 The Beat and Island Luck Socials. 5 cars, 5 weeks. The more you play, the better your chances. Visit islandluck.com for more information. Catch the keys only at Island Luck. Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
Tonight, the controversy continues surrounding the Prime Minister's ministerial team that political leaders say won't just exhaust the public purse, but will silence those who have previously considered or been considered backbenchers. A former Prime Minister, though, isn't being too critical just yet. Jose Etienne tells us exactly who it is and what he has to say.
While public and political criticism continues to mount over what critics call a bloated cabinet under Prime Minister Philip Davis, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis says he is taking a more measured approach as he waits to hear the government's rationale behind what is now the largest cabinet in Bahamian history.
Sometimes it's best to look at the wider picture. At the wider picture. Is this an investment by the government for a long-term benefit for the country? And I have to see what the speech from the throne is tomorrow.
Minnis stopping short of condemning the 29-member cabinet may come as a surprise to some, particularly given that his own administration began with a 16-member cabinet. Nonetheless, Davis has defended his complement, arguing that he needs all hands on deck to advance his government's agenda. This cabinet now includes more ministers and state ministers than Davis's first term. However, questions continue to emerge over whether some positions were structured more around political considerations. Critics have pointed to the appointment of PLP Secretary General Barbara Cartwright as Senator and Minister of Social Services, a move that caught many by surprise. Then there is Jerome Fitzgerald, a former member of Parliament who returns to frontline politics after his last elected stint in government ended more than a decade ago. Fitzgerald also previously served as a senior policy advisor in the office of the Prime Minister. Also under scrutiny is Davis's decision to appoint 2 state ministers in the office of the Prime Minister compared to just one during his first term. And while the appointments of Sebas Bastian and Leslie Miller Bryce appear to have satisfied legal requirements, observers continue to examine those decisions. While Minnis is not joining the chorus of critics, he has raised questions about how some portfolios were aligned.
I've always felt that technology should be separate as opposed to being attached to something. Technology is too important.
And so it remains to be seen whether the Governor General's speech from the throne on Wednesday will provide greater clarity on the government's direction and quiet some of the discussion surrounding the size of cabinet. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
So I want to bring in the panel right now to talk about this. We know it's a 29-member cabinet. We know that there are, I guess, a historic number of state ministers as well as substantive ministers. The Prime Minister says the reason for this, truly, is because of an expanded agenda to continue building and moving forward. But what does my panel think? Michael, Peggy, Howard, your thoughts on some of the criticism. You see former Prime Minister Minnis is saying, wait a minute, not so fast. Let's just see what these men and women will do and how they will help move this country forward and bring about the kind of change that Bahamians desire. And then others are saying, but hold up, what the price tag is. Your thoughts?
Shanique, firstly, I would like to address the issue of the Christian Council again. I think the responsibility of the Christian Council to this nation needs to be clear because they are too selective and too emotional and personal when it comes to some situation, and then they are quiet and stoic when it comes to other information.
Well, you slapping up because...
Like when those prophets was out on Facebook and social media lying to the people about the F&M government, I expect those responsible for the fivefold ministry to call them in, but y'all can't call them in because y'all can't control them, but you want to control the government of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. If the law permits, say, if you resign and remove yourself from the business of gaming, it allows you, like for instance, Leah Bryce, Miller Bryce, her husband removed himself. Sebas removed himself months ago. And so why now there's an issue? Because you want to control something. If you want to control something, control the fivefold ministry. Tell those human beings who call themselves prophets to stop lying to us, please. Because too many Bahamians run on what they say. And the Bible never, I saw where the Bible chastise sinners. He said, my people who are called by my name.
Go ahead, Peggy.
If they will turn from their wicked ways. He didn't call sinners wicked, you know. He said, come down, I want to have meals with you to the tax collectors. Know your role. That's all I'm going to say.
Now, Peggy, before Michael and Howard jump in, what do you think about the criticism of the size, because you're going to have more to say, because we can get more to what the Christian Council said, the size of the Davis cabinet.
You know, I was looking at individuals, and I will stick to Leslie Bryce Miller, who did a fabulous job during the last time when it came to the independence and other
the 50th anniversary and other things.
and other cultural events. It is unfair and unfortunate that based on what everybody was saying the law said, because I read something totally different this evening, but based on everybody's interpretation of law, she was not allowed to serve as a cabinet minister. And so her family, her husband made the sacrifice for her. There's a good matchup to the appointments of cabinet ministers. For instance, Leslie Bryce Miller, and then when we look at Mr. Honorable Sebas, Innovation and National Planning. I mean, just look at what he did in the few months that he was a candidate transforming the lives of people in this constituency.
So you feel as though you are saying then this historic amount of cabinet ministers that it bears watching, particularly because of what many of them bring to the table, and that it bears watching.
Give them a chance to perform, and
Michael,
then say, you know, it's a problem that you guys ain't even giving them a chance because you're so busy being miserable.
You know, Shanique, I said before, the law is the law. If there is anything in the law that has been broken, you know, and that reveals itself, then of course it needs to be dealt with. At the end of the day, you know, from what I understand, like I said before, I'm not a legal mind or a legal expert. You know, the law was amended from 2014, which allowed what had taken place, and if that is true, then it is what it is.
Well, I have the law because we can get into that, y'all. I just want y'all to quickly, Carl, I want you quickly just insert your little thing about the cabinet size because we can get to exactly what Peggy and Michael are talking about right now.
So 2 quick things. It's not illegal for Prime Minister Davis to have a 29-member cabinet. I'm concerned about it for 2 quick things. Number one, Mr. Davis has made his input, which is appointing 29 cabinet ministers. I'm concerned about outcome. What's the outcome? And outcome has to be what is measurable. Give us a time, a point in time in Prime Minister Davis, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months. When are we going to assess the performance of this 29-member cabinet that you have to determine what the results are, what our return on investment is from having 29 cabinet ministers? That's number one. And then number two, quickly, my last concern is that when you have 3 branches of government, you have executive, you have legislative, and you have judiciary. Now, when the majority of your members of parliament are sitting in your executive branch, your cabinet, now we have a very, very, very small backbench, which includes the few members that have no appointments and the opposition to act as the check and balance on the government. So what has effectively happened when you have a quote-unquote Gussie May cabinet is that we have squashed the legislature and we have the executive, because once you agree to something in cabinet, you cannot go into the House of Assembly or Senate and disagree with it unless you tender your resignation and you will no longer be in the cabinet.
Well, I'll tell you this, Howard and Peggy and Michael, there are some backbenchers. They are excited to get started to hold their governments, and I say there because they are also elected in this PLP government, to hold their feet to the fire. They absolutely are prepared to do that. One of them reached out to me no longer than yesterday and said that they're excited to be a backbencher and to do the business of the people who elected them. Meanwhile, you all, the Bahamas Christian Council President, Pastor Mario Moxie, is now calling on the government. Roll the TP, please, you all. Wake up. Now calling on the relevant authorities to break their silence regarding the appointments of Sebas Bastien and Leslie Miller-Bryce to cabinet.
Really?
Now, the appointments continue to attract public attention due to their previous connections to the gaming industry, with discussions focused on provisions of the Gaming Act that place restrictions on gaming operators and certain related interests among cabinet ministers. Both cabinet ministers have maintained that they satisfied all legal requirements necessary to serve in their respective positions. Prime Minister Philip Davis and the Gaming Board have yet to publicly address the matter. Meanwhile, Pastor Moxie says his concern is not necessarily whether the letter of the law was satisfied, but whether the appointments comply with what he described as the spirit and intention of the legislation.
The hell is the spirit?
Oh, I understand. I don't get it. We're not. Come back, you all. So you all, we are having audio difficulties there. Obviously, not my doing, not my doing. But you can. I had to say that, Howard. I had to say that. But you can imagine what he said. I led into it quite nicely. So let's just get into this. Let's get into this discussion. By the way, before I even forget, let me get to some of what some of you are saying. You all have opinions and ready to share it. You say, please tell the Bahamas Christian Council, please. Tell them that the biblical saying, he who is without sin cast the first stone. Democracy is a manipulative process. This comments coming now. Eric says he have it now. And so in order to be fair to this discussion, let's hear the Christian Council president.
We acknowledge that the ministers in question have indicated that they have satisfied the legal requirements necessary to serve in cabinet. However, no public evidence has yet been produced that fully resolves the concern held by many citizens, whether these individuals have truly and completely relinquished any direct or indirect interest, influence, or continuing financial benefit from gaming enterprises with which they have been closely identified. The present appointments have created a dark cloud that should not be dismissed lightly. Even if legal opinions have been obtained, and even if steps have been taken to satisfy the letter of the law, the broader, more important question remains, and that is, has the spirit of the law been honored? The Bahamian people should not be asked to accept what appears to be legal gymnastics crafted to get one over on the law. When a statute is enacted to prevent a particular ethical danger, government must not appear to be searching for pathways around the very concern that the law was designed to address.
Well, you all, let's get into this. This is something that has been buzzing really since these appointments have been announced. And now, of course, both are now sworn in cabinet ministers. You all know the ministries that they're responsible for. The Gaming Act does not disqualify. And we've got to honor the way we want to honor everybody else and say, listen, these are honorable men and women, including of the church or anywhere else. Me with you all this evening. If I say something, you've got to kind of give me the benefit of the doubt, right? So these people have publicly disclosed that they have divested themselves, and we have to believe their word until we see otherwise. Let's just talk about what the law says and provides for, and what it is that both Bastian and Bryce have committed to having done already, including family members of, as you mentioned earlier, Peggy, Bryce's husband, right? The Gaming Act does not disqualify a person from serving as a cabinet minister. It never has. It is only the Constitution of the Bahamas that lays out disqualifications for holding cabinet office or even being an elected official. None of those disqualifications apply here. We all know that. We all on one page, right? So what the Gaming Act does address is the holding of gaming licenses and certain financial interests connected to gaming operations, specifically sections 25 and 26. And so let's look at what it says. And again, both Bastian and Miller Bryce have said that they have divested of themselves. One of them, her spouse, even went as far as to divesting himself, because the law addresses that, and therefore he did what the law calls for. So in section 25, this is the Gaming Act, it says, and what financial interest means: a right or entitlement to share in profits or revenue, or direct or indirect interest in the voting shares or voting rights attached to shares of a company. And then let's look at part 3 of that. It's a whole bit. It's quite a bit to say there, but it says any indirect interest held through any fund or investment if the person holding such interest has no control over the investment decisions made in respect of that fund or investment. And of course, as we know, and we have discussed this at length, this has been out there. Bastian has divested himself. He has no direct interest, even indirect. He has divested himself of control, and so has Miller Bryce as well, including her spouse. Now, you all, so you see, the Christian Council president is not questioning the law and even what the law provides for. He is questioning the integrity of both people. Your thoughts on that? To I don't know, to I guess create further doubt. Is that fair?
No, that's a mean of controlling, and then he speaks to the spirit of the law. And it would be like me asking about the spirit of his praise team and the spirit of his choir and the spirit on his altar. I'd be out of order to do such a thing. So unless he's a lawyer and I'm unaware of it, if I'm unaware of it, I bow down to you, sir. But if you're not a lawyer, you're asking the spirit of the law and you're questioning the integrity of these young Bahamians who have offered themselves to serve. And I think you're out of order, sir. Your business is what spirit lies in your congregation and in your choir and your praise leader. That's the spirit you need to ensure.
You know, Shanique, when you look, you always see the Christian council.
I want to say that I don't know what it is going on in his praise team or choir.
But if you question the integrity of persons, you should have questioned the integrity of anyone before they actually get into politics or before they actually run and become a member of parliament. I mean, you're talking about integrity. But then we talk about, we talk about the referendum. Let's go back to the referendum. If the people said no to the referendum, I think the Christian Council, I don't know, they should be making noise from the referendum to now. Because at the end
roughly
of the day,
15 years ago.
If you're saying that you represent the people and what they want, I mean, the people said no. I guess the Christian Council said, okay, let's move on. Now we come to this junction and you'd be like, hey, now you're questioning the integrity of the persons. I think that's wrong. I think let's focus on the law, what the law actually states, and if the law says they've met the requirements, then it is what it is. Let's just move on.
How would you?
Shanique, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, very quickly. Yes, sir.
I know that news reports said that Mr. Bastian had divested himself of all of his interests in the gaming and put it in a trust. Now, I've worked with trusts over the years for one of the biggest global firms in finance, right? Charles Schwab, previously. And in working with trusts, I know that when you divest into a trust, the trust is the legal entity that is alive. That's like a person. So Sabaz doesn't own those interests if it is indeed in the trust. That belongs to the trust. So he is free and clear. And my sources at the gaming board have told me that on late Thursday evening, before end of day, Mr. Bryce was seen at the gaming board delivering the information that he needed to provide as proof of divesting himself. So if those two things have indeed happened, then those persons are free and clear to serve in the cabinet of the Bahamas. This is just a matter of public disclosure that the government now needs to bring to the people and demonstrate in full public disclosure that they have done so. And hopefully this will be all put to bed.
I mean, for you to have gone and discussed that and investigated that and been told, free from, even I didn't even know it, just found out a moment ago, that you spoke with gaming board officials and they said, listen, Mr. Bryce came here and this is what he did and he is, and it's all above board. He divested himself fully.
And just
technical compliance achieved.
Probably we should ask for the audit of bank.
We acknowledge that the ministers.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At InvestStar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
Chris Brown and Usher. Listen to me, and that's it. Listen, we're talking about Essence Fest. It's happening in July. I know many of you know that already because you're planning to be there. But wait a minute, just slow up a little bit. You don't have to spend all that money because if you plan on attending the Essence Fest in early July, you're in luck. Wendy's and Coca-Cola have teamed up to send some lucky viewer and their friend, spouse, whomever it is, sibling, whomever it is, to the Essence Fest 2026 in New Orleans. And we are super happy to get right into this to talk about it. The representatives from Wendy's and Coca-Cola are here. Hello to you, Jade Wells. Hello to you, Lauren Clark. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. It's really awesome. And then let's talk about the history of this, first of all. This is the first time outside the United States that sort of this free access to the Essence Fest is happening, right?
Yes.
Well, first of all, how did you all even come up on this, been able to get approval for this, to bring this free giveaway to the Bahamian people?
Well, Coca-Cola has been the presenting sponsor of the Essence Fest since its inception. And so we really wanted this time to create an experience for our consumers home. A lot of times we see incredible contests and giveaways, but they're only available abroad. And so we worked really diligently with our global team to make this experience happen. And we're really excited to partner with Wendy's, who we believe is a leading warrior in the fast food space in the Bahamas, and also a company that also prioritizes the consumer's experience, quality products, and things like that.
So Wendy's, look at the way, Jade, that Coca-Cola spotted you all, especially what you do here in the Bahamas. Those tenders, I think, had a role to play in their decision. But just talk about this wonderful partnership with Coca-Cola and helping to make summer that much more exciting for one lucky person.
Well, Wendy's and Coca-Cola, we've been partnering together for our summer promotions as well as Christmas for many years, and this is just our opportunity just to give back to our customers. And one thing about us, we love to give back to our customers in a big way. So if we're not giving away cars, cash, we are now giving away a grand prize for two to experience Essence Festival in New Orleans. And I think that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I really believe it is. Now, let's talk about, first of all, you all know it's the beginning of July. Yes. It's the beginning of July. It's held in New Orleans. You all know New Orleans has its own flavor, its own rhythm, its own energy. And imagine the Essence Fest on top of that. Let's just, before we get into how they can apply, what they do and all this stuff, let's just talk about who are some of the headliners at this year's Essence Fest.
Well, you know, Cardi B has had a big year so far, and she is the headliner for this year's Essence Festival, along with Brandy and Monica. They also were on tour recently this year. And then you have, you know, the real R&B heavy hitters. You have Patti LaBelle, the Isley Brothers, just to name a few. So you have artists that, you know, they are performing for the younger audience as well as the older audience as well. So it's basically a festival for everyone.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, now how can persons get in touch with Coca-Cola, with Wendy's locally, right here, who somebody's watching tonight, and apply or qualify?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. You know, you always are going to Wendy's anyway for lunch, but just one thing that you have to do, you have to upgrade your lunch combo to a large. So that's any combo 1 through 12, whether that's your tenders, your number 1, or your Asiago, as well as the new chicken tender wrap. Once you upgrade that to a large with a Coke product, you are eligible to enter to win. And it's pretty simple. You can scan the QR code that you'll see at the bottom of your receipt, or you can WhatsApp a picture of your receipt to our number as well.
You want to jump in, Lauren?
Yeah, and also I'd like to say, you know, Coca-Cola, we're all about winning and giving back to our consumers. So even if you're not the lucky chosen person for the grand prize, you can still win prizes weekly, and we're giving away suitcases, we're giving away tote bags, and so many incredible items that you can get your hands on. So this promotion really is just about celebrating our consumer, giving back, and just preparing everyone for an exciting summer. We're also giving away money. I mean, who doesn't love that? We're giving away thousands of dollars.
As a part of this promotional exercise?
Yeah, so every week we're doing great prizes.
Listen to me. How you all missed that part out? Let us just talk about this, because wait a minute, if the tenders weren't enough of a pull and an attraction, let us just talk about the fact that people can walk away after getting those meals that you just talked about, Jade, that they can walk away still with more money in their pockets.
Absolutely. So like Lauren said, if you didn't win the grand prize, you have a chance to win $1,000. So every week for 5 weeks up until June 18th, we'll be selecting one person to win $1,000, as well as travel vouchers. So if you're not in the running for New Orleans, you have a chance to get a Going Places travel voucher, so you can still plan your perfect summer vacation.
Now let me see exactly what I'm going to pull up to the drive-through for. Like what my first thing will be. When is starting? When do I need to show up?
So we started yesterday.
Yeah.
And
It's already started.
It's already started.
So this now make sure. Listen, look at the face. Let me know when to go and do the QR code. Because give me my first 1,000, as well as perhaps the Essence Fest.
Yeah,
deal.
and the promotion ends June 19th. So you have a month. You have lots of opportunities to go out and make those large combo purchases with a cold Coca-Cola or Sprite, Fanta, Dasani water, if you're, you know, watching those calories. So there's so many options that you can drink with a Coke product and also consume a lovely, delicious Wendy's meal.
Not to mention the salads as well, those amazing salads.
I was actually going to talk on that as well. If you're watching your figure for the summer, you can also purchase any salad along with a Coke product, whether that's a Dasani water, or if you still want, you know, something a little sweet like an orange soda or a Coke. You know, we don't judge.
Once again, you can, beginning tomorrow, in fact, right after tonight's show, how about that, Rob? Go right now tonight, 9 o'clock, it's just a few more minutes. Go to your nearest Wendy's, go and purchase, upgrade the meal, get a large, and you can then be entered into the wonderful opportunity to go to the Essence Fest that happens around, it's like a week. And y'all ain't saying everything.
So it's July 3rd to the 5th.
That part. I mean, and all paid for.
Yeah, so it includes flights, accommodations, all access passes, money.
Shopping
We're all about
Shopping
money. Yes.
Yes, shopping money. Then, so tell that person out there that if they win, they don't have to think about, oh my God, so I'm going to just go by myself?
No, of course not. We want to make this an experience for your bestie, whoever that may be, your mom, your dad, your auntie, your cousin, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. We just want to make it an experience of a lifetime, and that's what Coca-Cola is all about, bringing the real magic of Coca-Cola to our local consumers. And so we're really excited that we're not just doing it for one person, but we're also granting them the opportunity to bring a loved one along for an incredible Wendy's and Coca-Cola summer.
So look at that. Summer just got a whole lot more exciting
Yes.
and a whole lot more interesting. You are going to New Orleans for the Essence Summer Fest. You heard Cardi B is the headliner there, but a whole number of your favorites and people that you look forward to, that you've followed for years, some who are new, but that you enjoy their music, all for an entire week, all on Coca-Cola and Wendy's, and with shopping money to boot as well. Ladies, I'll give you each an opportunity to have a final comment.
Oh, final comment, go out, make those purchases. You can either send your receipt to the number 809-2916, or you can scan the QR code, which shows at the bottom of your receipt. And remember to do those large combos, and make sure, most importantly, you include a Coca-Cola product. So that's Coke, Sprite, Fanta, Gumbe, or Dasani water.
Also wanted to mention that during this time, we'll also be having pop-up events at Wendy's at different locations starting tomorrow. Our first event is at 12 p.m. at Golden Gate. So we'll be there, just letting you know all about what we have to offer, and you have a chance to spin the wheel to win instant prizes as well.
You can spin the wheel from the drive-thru?
Well, we'll bring the wheel to you.
You'll bring the wheel.
We'll bring the wheel.
I like that. So listen, you all, I love this little relationship right here. You all have obviously making summer fun and exciting with new experiences for all of your customers are really, really awesome. So even if you don't get to go, you still win. Remember now, $1,000 a week starting. In fact, people started entering from yesterday. And so who knows when they would call you. So you got to get in there. And then, of course, that big prize, which is the Essence Fest for a week with shopping money, all the rest of it, you and someone to go and have fun at the Essence Fest, where Cardi B is the headliner. Repeat that number once again.
809-2916.
809-2916, and they can scan there and send all the receipts and all the stuff there through that number. Yes?
Yes. Just a correction, the number is 805-2916.
Okay. Say it again. I need people to hear it.
So you can WhatsApp a photo of your receipt to 805-2916 and just follow the instructions that you'll see in the WhatsApp chat.
Amazing. Again, I hope you all got that information. Win, win, win. Enjoy Wendy's. Enjoy all that Wendy's has to offer that's on the menu. You all know the menu very, very well. I don't even have to repeat it. They don't have to repeat it. Certainly, of course, Bahamians love our Wendy's, right? And so really, really awesome. Ladies, thanks for coming here, sharing this excellent news for people out there, making summer exciting, and also for that people could just get some money. Listen, they love that. They absolutely love that. Thank you so much, Jade Wells from Wendy's and Lauren Clark from Coca-Cola. Thank you very, very much, ladies. Thank you once again. And of course, a huge thank you to my Hot Topics panel who were here earlier. Michael Turnquest, Peggy Candice, and Howard Johnson. And then these ladies right here. I hope you all got all the information you needed to be able to have an enjoyable summer. Go shopping on them and all the rest of it. And of course, my team, thank you very much on behalf of the entire Beyond the Headlines team. It's been awesome having you hang out this evening. Thank you for participating in the show as well. We look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. Remember, it's the opening of Parliament, the fashions, y'all. Yeah, this right here. Tune in on our coverage is at beginning, I think, around 9:30 tomorrow morning. So certainly join us for that here on Eyewitness News. Until then, I'm Shanique Miller. Everybody, thank you for watching. Have a great evening.